What about my love? Wasn't it enough? Just let me know.
The New York Giants, man. So both of y'all had them at 7-10.
I had him at 7-10.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute.
Starting at quarterback, you have Daniel Jones, who we know signed an extension. He's been a hot topic of conversation for us here. And backing him up, you have Drew Lock and Tommy DeVito, Mr. Cutlets. At running back, after Saquon Barkley left, Devin Singletary comes in from Houston. You have Eric Gray out of Tennessee/Oklahoma, fifth round pick a year ago.
You better
And
watch
then,
out when you talk about Eric Gray around here.
Tyrone Tracy
badly.
and Deshaun Corbin also at running back. Wide receiver, we
You say
know
Corbin Blue? What?
Deshaun
don't
Corbin.
Don't remind me.
At wide receiver, they add Malik Neighbors in the first round to a core that includes Wan'Dale Robinson, a former second-round pick, and Darius Slayton, along with Jalen Hyatt, former Biletnikoff Award winner, Isaiah McKenzie, Isaiah Hodgins, Allen Robinson, Miles Boykin, Gunnar Olszewski, and Ayir Asante. Then across the offensive line, you have Andrew Thomas, former first-round pick, Jermaine Illuminor, John Michael Schmitz Jr., John Runyon, and Evan Neal, who is currently on the unable to play list, with Daniel Bellinger and Theo Johnson just drafted in the fourth round at tight end. Defensively, they have some more. They have a couple dogs with Dexter Lawrence, one of the best D tackles currently in the league, the anchor in the middle, Raheem Nunez-Roches, and Jordan Phillips, the other interior lineman there, with Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau, the primary edge rushers, with Azeez Ojulari
Mr.
and
Burns.
Boogie Basham backing them up. Linebackers Bobby Okereke and Micah McFadden right now are listed as the starters, with Matthew Adams and Isaiah Simmons, who's been moving around, across his career after being a first-round pick for Arizona. They have him back at linebacker after he made a temporary move to safety. Then their secondary looking a little bleak, in my opinion, with Flott Cordale at cornerback. Personally, never heard of him. With Drew Phillips, who they drafted in the third round. Yeah, Flott. Yeah, him.
Said that man's name backwards.
You're right. Cordale Flott. Yeah. Former third round pick.
He's the slot from LSU.
Okay.
That dude,
yeah, I never heard of him.
Yeah, that dude was supposed to be a beast, bro.
Unfortunate.
They added Drew Phillips in the third round of the draft this year. Have Darnay Holmes and Nick McLeod also out at corner, along with Trey Herndon and Mario Goodrich and Alex Johnson, who's an undrafted free agent, I believe. Then at safety, they have Tyler Nubin, who they drafted in the second round, and Jason Pinnock, Dane Belton, Elijah Riley, and Jalen Mills, who comes in after stints with both.
Does Jalen Mills still got the green curl, by the way?
He does. Yes, he still goes by Green Goblin. Then
hang it up, brother.
Yeah.
Then
bro.
they also I left off a couple of corners. Deontay Banks, who they took in the first round in 2023, and then Trey Hawkins. So a little bit of a.
Did they already pick up? Wait, they already picked up Mario Goodrich?
He's listed on their depth chart.
Homie was cut like 5 hours ago. Okay.
I was able to get this changed. There you go.
Quick.
Yes, they claimed him off of waivers 5 hours ago.
Good for him.
Who was it?
Mario Goodrich from Clemson.
Oh my God. My, how the times have changed.
How the turns have tabled.
Yeah, these records look a little bit better for.
Yeah, because I saw the 7 and the 10, I was like, "Yep, that's right." And I didn't pay attention to the order. I was
okay,
like,
I'm a one-man band. Okay,
yeah,
no, I didn't say
one-man band.
That's why I was telling everybody in the comments, calm the hell down. Like, you ain't never made a damn mistake before in your life.
There we go. Yeah, that's a lot better. So that's exactly what I have. All right, so 6 and 11, they're still number 3. Khalid had 7-10. I had 7-10. Sori had 7-10. Don 6 and 11. Hayden at 4 and 13. I need to know his reasons why. 5 and 12 for Tony. And if you put money on it, 6 and 11 is what I have for the Giants. Now, like Khalid was going through the roster, I definitely am probably the highest on Daniel Jones out of everybody here. So let me just go ahead and get my little rant out the way.
The floor is yours, brother.
I think Daniel Jones is going to be the comeback player of the year. One thing that I want you guys to note is if it's not going to be him, I think they're in good hands, because another guy that I thought never got his chance was Drew Lock. And Drew Lock has been doing really good in training camp so far, and actually putting a little bit of pressure on Daniel Jones. And from some reports that he's been playing way better than Daniel Jones. Again, just like how I feel about Trevor Lawrence, you're either going to make and break with somebody that has the same kind of aura around them where they're bringing a lot of energy. Your quarterback room obviously got better. You've been a veteran. You've been on multiple teams. And I think that's either going to help make or break Daniel Jones at this point in time. Devin Singletary has been the most disrespected running back in the league, in my opinion. I think he should have stayed with the Bills and they should have gave him more of a chance, but he finds himself here. And do I think it's a comparable, makeup type of running back that Saquon is? No, of course not. Eric Gray has to step up a lot. Tyrone Tracy was a wide receiver that moved on to running back. So I just want people to know that he's fairly new to playing running back. He's playing at a season and a half for Purdue. Deshaun Corbin, that dude hurts my heart every single time I see his name. Florida State legend, psych. Malik Neighbors, great pickup. Jalen Hyatt, don't know. Darius Slayton is been one of my favorite receivers for a long time.
He's the most reliable receiver for New York.
The biggest deficiency outside of offensive line is their tight end position, in my opinion. And then Bobby Okereke is awesome. Isaiah Simmons being there, hopefully he can step up. Brian Burns, we already know what it is with him. Dexter Lawrence, we already know there. Kayvon Thibodeau was my favorite edge rusher coming out of that class too. Trey Herndon, hopefully he can step up because he was booty cheeks for the the Jaguars. And then Deontay Banks was a great pickup for them too. So, I mean, like overall, when you look at their team, this is one of those teams where it's like you go into Madden this year and you want to rebuild the Giants. You know what I'm saying? They got enough structure around them to be really, really good. I'm not the biggest Wan'Dale Robinson fan. I'm not going to lie.
He can't stay healthy.
He can't stay healthy. I like Isaiah McKenzie better than I like Wan'Dale Robinson, to be 100% with you. But another tough schedule. I think the NFC East as a whole just has a tough schedule. It's really up and down. Some of the teams that they're playing are really wacky. Brian Dable is going to get fired if they have this record. I'm just letting everybody know. But they're going to lose a lot of close games, in my opinion. A lot of close games. Jermaine Illuminor, his name has been mentioned so much. I hope he steps up to the plate for them and can at least help anchor the right side of that field with Andrew Thomas. Because Andrew Thomas is borderline number 2 or number 3 best left tackles in the league. Just call it what it is. So, their defense is going to be really good. Can their offense meet that? I still think Daniel Jones becomes comeback player of the year. I just think they lose a lot of close games, down the stretch, especially. Hello?
I hear you.
Listen, man, I was just like, Nancy's going to go on the rant. I'm going to just sit back and let him go.
I have them only picking up 2 wins out of their last, I think that's 7 games after their bye. Yeah, they have 7 games after their bye week.
Wait, Khalid, so do I. Can I just guess? Is yours also ahead. Where are I've lost them? Is yours also New Orleans and Atlanta?
As my wins?
As your wins after the bye week. Damn it.
I have New Orleans and Indy.
I got one of them.
Yeah. I think that this team, the defense just isn't good enough to win a lot of games, right? Like I think 7 was generous given their defense, but just looking at the schedule, I gave them 7. This is a team that is really young on that side of the ball, and then on offense, they're banking on a Daniel Jones breakout, right? Or a Daniel Jones to show that he deserved the money he got. Malik Neighbors obviously is a sign of that, but the running back situation isn't great. You mentioned tight ends, Dante. If you don't have like the running back and tight end positions, those are your outlets. Those are your the pass catchers who, if you need to get the ball out quick, right? Like on a blitz, you need to hit the hot route, like whatever it is. He doesn't have reliable quality players at those positions to rely on. And not to mention that offensive line, aside from Andrew Thomas, is pretty poor. So
and Andrew Thomas has problems staying healthy.
I think they'll be able to win some games because I think that adding Malik Neighbors really helps. When they signed Kenny Golladay way back when, they thought they had their number one receiver, and clearly he was not because he could not gain any separation. But I think that'll help the offense there as they're kind of like trying to find out what they have at tight end and running back. But this is a team who could easily only win, in the 3 to 5 games this season. But so I think 7 for me was a little generous because primarily because of the defense and a seeming like lack of identity on offense. Though I do like Daboll and I do like Mike Kafka, being the offensive like minds on that coaching staff. It's looking a little bleak for the Giants this year.
Yeah. So I have them at 7-10. Just because, kind of exactly like what Dante said, this is going to be a make or break year for Daniel Jones. It's going to be a make or break year for Mike Daboll, and their schedule does start off. Did I say Mike? Yeah, Brian. Whoops. Their schedule does start off pretty easy. They got Minnesota, Washington. Think they'll win those two. Cleveland, who knows what they'll look like? That's a toss up. Probably lose against Dallas. Seattle, there's a completely just new, different team. So who knows with that? 3-game losing streak of Cincy, Philly, Pittsburgh, and then they'll win against Washington and Carolina. And then after their bye week, it just gets brutal. Tampa Bay, Dallas. They might win against New Orleans. They might win against Atlanta, but you've got Baltimore, Indy, and then Philly, week 18, who could potentially be resting their starters. So that is just a toss-up because who knows what those teams are going to look like by the end of the year. I think adding Malik Neighbors does help because now you have him and Darius Slayton. You actually have two. You have hopefully your future number one wide receiver, Malik Neighbors. You have a reliable receiver if he's healthy in Darius Slayton. You don't know what you're going to have in your third. I still think Jalin Hyatt is a fourth. Who knows what you really have with Wan'Dale Robinson. He carried that Kentucky offense with Chris Rodriguez, but that was college. And even then, Kentucky still wasn't the greatest then. I think the defense is what's going to keep that front seven more than likely, or not more than likely, but that front seven is going to be what wins them these close games because they've got an amazing front seven. But their secondary, besides Deonte Banks, they really don't have that much. And then, I think it was today that Darren Waller pretty much said, I don't see how you can blame Daniel Jones with that bad of an O-line.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, they just haven't been able to figure out O-line. But you have two hopefully reliable receivers that can help a little bit and give confidence to Daniel Jones. And again, with that front seven, I think that's going to help you squeak out some close games and get you to 7 wins.
Yeah, this team is going to be interesting. I mean, I think what's going to happen is you're going to have a situation where the Giants are pulling an identity out, but it's just going to be too late for those coaches to be able to go and obviously, have the talent match up with how good their season could have been. I like Brian Daboll. It's just unfortunate for somebody like Daniel Jones, and I don't see him being there next year, regardless of how good of a season he has. I think what's going to happen with the new coach is they're just going to come in and just clean house. I think that's what's going to happen. You keep with Brian Burns around, you keep Kayvon Thibodeau, you keep Dexter Lawrence around, and Deonte Banks, Andrew Thomas, and Malik Neighbors, but I think everybody else is expendable, to be completely honest with you. And Giants fans are just going to have to sit through couple more seasons of just mediocrity until they find the guy that they really are going to want. But I hate it for them. I'm going through that as a Jaguars fan right now. But I mean, a 7-10 season with the schedule that they have with all the teams that are there. I mean, I hate to put that in the universe, but that's just how I see it. I mean, it just is what it is. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat for a lot of my friends that are Giants fans, but it's just, this is the treatment that's going to happen.